Oh yeah, what's up? It's
Drop in
Tuesday.
there.
Oh, is it? Oh,
I'm just gonna spoil it right off the bat this time.
roll it. Dang it!
Hey man, they deserve it. They don't
I was
need
gonna
any,
build the hype.
don't need suspense tonight.
You are a shady promoter, Rob. Dang it! You got us. Well, what the heck? Hey, we're live. It is one of a kind with RVD, and we're on a Tuesday. This is a little change of pace for us, but with good reason. Rob, it's good to see you, man. Nice and early.
Yes, sir. We're knocking a couple out this week. Late last week, early this week. So happy Taco Tuesday to you.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Got a busy week. Had a busy day. I'm feeling fantastic. For real. I just feel amazing right now. Like I've been, I don't know, been training hard and have been eating good, resting good, everything. And it's just, hey, let me just put this out there. I feel fantastic.
That's great to hear. That's
Yes,
damn good to hear, Rob.
damn good.
Damn good to hear.
Damn good to feel.
Yes. And we got some good people in the chat too. Maddie is here. Jem the Dawn is here. Shout out to all those fine folks. We got Candido fan, Triple E. So yeah, if you guys have some questions, be sure to chime on in. Always helps to use the super chat. It keeps my eyes open on it, and then helps support the show too. But yeah,
we need a better response to the traditional boring convo of thanks for being here. What does everybody 100% of the time say? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm.
That's it. Every time I say it, it just feels cliche because I laugh at myself saying it because I feel dumb. Just because it's so easy. It's such a go-to. Everyone says, "Hey man, thanks for being on the show today. Thanks for having me."
Right.
Every once in a while, I'll say, they'll say, "Hey man, it's nice to have you." I'll say, "It's nice to be me" or whatever. But usually, it's not too much to stray. Not too much string. Everyone does it. Everybody does it. Thanks for having me.
I know. Even when I do interviews and stuff like that, I'm like, thanks for joining me today. And then I'm like, it kind of doesn't do anything, like, I could just start off with a question, I guess.
We need to update the response to it. Like it's still cool to thank them. But, if someone says thank you, you don't have to say you're welcome. You can, hey, thanks, you're welcome, or thanks, thank you, or hey, no problem, no worries, you got it. There's choices, but when it comes to thanks for being on the show, all we got is thanks for having me.
Well, thank you, Rob, for being on the show though today.
It's nice to be me. Oh, that didn't work.
Dang it.
It's nice to have you on the show.
We'll try it every episode.
Me. Oh, I messed up again.
Dang it. We'll try to do something different every time. Hey, Candido fan says that music intro is fire. Yes, check it out.
I do. And what did he say he's got last week? He said he's got one called
Woke 'em if you got 'em.
That's right. Good memory, dude.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, so Rob, we got some things to talk about today. Did want to touch upon some aspects of TNA Genesis that went down. The pay-per-view for TNA, big one. We talked about Joe Hendry a couple times on this show, and lo and behold, he became their world champion. And
boom.
Yes.
TNA heavyweight champion.
World
champion, whatever. Yep. Cool. Congratulations, Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
Hendry? Is there a D in there or is it Henry?
Nope, you're right. Joe Hendry with the D.
Okay.
Yep. So he's the one, and he was in NXT for a little bit, and then they built him back up, and he defeated Nick Nemeth to become the new champ. So
I know that dude. I used to call him Dolph, but that was a different time.
It was a different time, and it's funky. I was funny because I just interviewed Nick a couple days ago, and me and my other buddy that does it, Robert Karpelis, that do the show. We were like, it's hard not to call him Dolph, because you're so used to calling him Dolph. But he's really been a good flag bearer for TNA recently, Nick, and it's been cool to see him kind of help that company grow back to relevancy a little bit.
Nice. That's awesome. And I feel like right now they are having, like a really good moment, like hearing the news about them working with WWE just sounds like, to me, it sounds like what they've always wanted, not speaking for them. It seems like, a moment when they should be really celebrating, looking forward to the future, feeling good about everything. And then I see the video of the guy that went to GCW and broke one of the TNA titles, the belts, the POC. POC was
PCO did that, yeah.
Yeah, and so I feel like, man, he's like pissing on the parade right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate because from what the reports are saying, he did go into business for himself and do a little bit of that. Hopefully, though, that can create some positive buzz. They can turn it into something, maybe whether that's with him or without him, but try to make it something. But
tell me something. Why do I, in my mind, get him confused with Vampiro?
Because he's got like this like horror style gimmick, I think. So PCO was Pierre Carl Oluwet from the what were they called in the Quebecers? He was from the Quebecers, and
okay, yeah, so that makes sense.
Yeah, so then he changed his gimmick up to be like
was he Pierre? It was Pierre.
Yes, he was Pierre. Yep, exactly. He was Pierre.
Okay.
So you're welcome. So
thanks for having me. But since we're talking about it, PCO, what does PLE mean? I keep saying that. Like, what do you think about the PLEs? I don't know. What's a play?
So it has two. You can kind of give it two meanings in the WWE landscape. PLE actually stands for Premium Live Event, but you can have a little fun with it and call it the Paul Levesque era.
Okay. So when people are talking about PLEs, that's the new term for what we used to call house shows. And then they changed it to live events to make it sound more interesting. And now they're called PLEs. Sorry.
So actually, no. So PLEs is the new substitute for pay-per-views.
What?
Yeah, because Premium Live Event, you're not necessarily paying to view this pay-per-view. So it's like if you subscribe to Netflix, you're watching Raw, or if you subscribe to the Peacock, you could get those pay-per-views now like that. They're Premium Live Events instead because you're not necessarily paying for one event.
And do you pay a premium for the pay-per-view, or it's in the package?
So typically it's in the package. Like, so with when WWE was on Peacock and had their content on there, you would subscribe to Peacock for like $6.99 a month. It was a great deal. And then you would get the pay-per-views. You would get each big name like WrestleMania was on there. And so you'd have to just worry about advertising like commercials and stuff on other shows. But that's kind of a workaround that they did. So it just made it a little bit more obviously made it more reasonable instead of paying like $60 per pay-per-view and stuff like that.
Okay. Wow.
But because AEW now, they just switched over to HBO Max. And so you can watch their pay-per-views on there. So now they're going to be like PLEs, I guess. But up until then, we've been calling them pay-per-views because you have to literally pay per view to see them. So.
Okay, then.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So.
I just learned what PEDs were not too long ago. So.
Oh, really?
No, I guess no, but I do remember not knowing. And when I found out, I was like, oh, that makes sense. But anyway, cool. All right. Thanks for clearing that up.
You're welcome. Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me. That's going to be the name of this episode. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maddie chimed in with the super chat. Dude, just made my effing day. Whole effing show times 2. You're right, Maddie. Thanks for joining us.
Boom.
Maddie, you have to friend me on Facebook, by the way, because our One True Sport Facebook is down. So if I can give you updates, I'll send you updates that way. You're free to be my friend on Facebook. I'm allowing you. So there you go.
Yeah, man, we keep in close contact with Maddie. With all the, anyone, like I've said before, like I respond to everybody on Only Wrestlers. It's that kind of a platform where I can do that. So definitely me and Maddie talk every fucking day, yo.
Every damn day. Yeah. Guys, you can sign up for Only Wrestlers. Go to onlywrestlers.com. Get your account all set up. And see
exciting week for only wrestlers. And on March 20th, we are having a live wrestling show in Hollywood, and the card looks fucking awesome. I don't know if you've seen a poster for it.
No, I haven't.
We should put one up, but we got several weeks before then. But also, it is also a fundraiser for some of the victims of the Los Angeles fires. So I want to put some more energy into that, because it was so devastating. And some of the stuff, I think, I'm thinking about, maybe auctioning some stuff, and I don't like to get rid of my personal stuff, but I have something in mind that's got flames on it that I just think like, man, maybe I should do that. And it's like, how much is it going to really help? Because I saw all these $8 million mansions getting burnt down. What's $1 grand going to do, or a couple of grand? But then really, when you look at the bigger picture, hopefully the funds help, or hopefully just, the good vibes, the spirit, hopefully caring, hopefully that helps healing. There's like a lot, I hope, to be said for the effort and the results that could just come from that. People will feel better about buying something. I sure do, if I think that the money is 100% going towards something really good. So anyway, that is our inaugural event, as my partner is calling it, our first OWA show on March 20th, and it just happens to, we were going to do it anyway, and it happens to be, after all these fires and stuff. So we'll see how the idea of helping the fires grows between now and then, and who knows, maybe some fans will have some ideas.
Absolutely. Look, and you got quite a lineup of names on here. I noticed Tessa Blanchard, Zaya Brookside, Kerry Morton Jr., Chris Masters, Brian Cage, Katie Ford, Violent J. Man, stack card. Is that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
Luke Hawks too over there too.
Yep. I'm not sure who the big guy is. Do you know?
The guy.
Is that who you were talking about by Violent J?
No, I don't know who that is right there.
Looks familiar.
Looks familiar though. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So fun stuff.
So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then after that, boom, we're off to the races. Then we'll be doing regular shows where the fans will be voting on setting up who wrestles who. And as I have said a million times, as we grow, so will the value of their vote, so will the subject, the content of what they're voting on will grow as well, and be a bigger, more important decision. So starting out with some small things, I think we're voting on who Katie wrestles on this one. And I think also maybe Chris Brian Cage, I think.
Oh, sweet.
I think those are 2 votes that we're going to do on the first. Everyone seems to know that we're starting out and everyone's patient, that we're kind of doing it slow, working out kinks and stuff. If you subscribe during the free time and then you found that you couldn't get back on, try again, because we found something happened where some of the accounts had expiration dates and they weren't supposed to. And so their free account had run out, and then, they got no way of contacting us then, unless they email us or whatever. But we don't have that communication established yet. We should know something like that, like right away, to be able to help them. But so far, we're all just starting little whispers. We're not really communicating yet within our association. We got a community chat room, so we can go there and I can say, hey, anyone been having any problems, or boom, boom, boom. That's actually how I found out my story was cutting off after 8 seconds. I didn't know till one of the fans told me. So I've been wasting my breath for months. Yeah, leaving this big story, and then after that, I'm going to do this and this and this, and that's my day. All right. And then all it shows is, hey,
hey, this is Rob.
Yeah. So we are still at that stage, and we ain't claiming to not be. So that's the cool thing, is that everybody seems to be happy with all of us moving along together like this, and better than waiting 2 years to try to have everything perfect to open up, and then it probably wouldn't be anyway.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's all about
Once we got him. I didn't even notice.
smoke 'em
I
if
didn't
you
even
got 'em.
notice my hands were doing that out of habit.
Ooh, so there you go, guys. Light them up if you're doing it Tuesday night.
I always say spark them if you got them, and then you say smoke them if you got them, and then the song, as I understand, is smoke them if you got them.
That's it. So you do say spark them.
Spark them, smoke them.
Heck yeah.
Suck them, drink them, sniff them. No.
Did you say? I think you saw. You might have saw this on Instagram because I think you liked it, but that doesn't necessarily mean you really looked at it. But somebody put on this day in history, Rob Van Dam got fucking high somewhere or something was the name of the. It just said, how they do those. I thought that was pretty funny.
Katie thought that was funny. She sent that to me. Yeah. There's another one going around that's got me in a bunny outfit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a chubby face picture in a bunny outfit with my big dimples, and it says something about when you get to have Easter and WrestleMania on 420.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I've seen that a lot.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite meme of yourself? I know you don't like favorites, but is there a meme that stands out to you? You appreciate?
What's the one about the bills being high? Are your bills high? And then it says me. I mean, they did that with. They also did that with. How is it, baby? I don't know. Yeah, gas prices be like RVD high or something.
Oh, that's odd. That's funny. I've never seen that.
Yeah, they also did it with Snoop Dogg and probably Willie Nelson too. But I thought that was funny and appreciated being up there with the legends.
There you go. Yeah, that's quite the trio right there. You,
yeah,
and Willie Nelson. Damn. Hey, what I wanted to touch upon too, speaking of TNA Genesis and only wrestlers, Tessa Blanchard won her big match against Jordan Grace, and she's back in TNA obviously after being years away because of all the controversy and stuff like that. I got to interview her just last week. I thought she was great, and I do think there's just a lot of I don't know, just a wrong connotation about her. But I wanted your thoughts about just kind of who she is as a person, what your thoughts of her, and kind of the situation she's going through of bouncing back from kind of being out of the spotlight for a while.
It's a hell of a good subject to talk about. So first off, I am a fan of hers, not just the way that she works, but just the whole package. Like when I found out, she's a Blanchard. She's tall. Hey, baby. Hey. When I found out, hey, that's Tully's daughter. Well, wow, that's cool, and she looks cool. I think, and she's a good wrestler, and but I all of that I thought was cool. I love it when I find out there's second generation or third generation wrestlers. Some of my friends, their kids are getting into it. I'm like, what? And that's a cool thing to have in your bloodline, especially I thought for her when I met her. And then firsthand, she's always just been cool, nice, never had any issues with her. She gets a lot of shit from a lot of the other girls, and then of course the fans. And it seems like at worst case, it's just a matter of mismatched values. And probably a misunderstanding as well. I know that a lot of people think that she's a racist. I can't say one way or another, but I'm never surprised when somebody is a racist. I think it's really common. Where I grew up, there was a lot of racism where I grew up. Right before I was born, they ended segregation. The government used to tell you it was it was okay to be racist. It's your obligation to be racist. That was the way that it was. So when there's people, especially if they're older than me, Hogan or something, and it's like, I see, I'm not shocked at some of the allegations, but also like from what it sounds like with her, like there's not enough evidence for me to feel either way. Like she could be or could not be a racist, and if she is, I don't really see why, as a character in the entertainment world, like why would we hold that against somebody unless they were all about that? And then I could see where, well, that's going to interfere with your job if you're all about that and you're pushing nothing but you're just like people that are really political and stuff. They get to be like too much because you're pushing your values on everybody else and thinking that they're wrong if they don't have yours. I mean, is there room for racists in the world? Sure, and I'm not saying I think she's probably not. And a lot of people would use the N-word if it's the quickest thing that comes to their mind and they want to hurt somebody. And that's something that people don't like to admit, but it's true. People no, to even come up with that word, for that even to cross your mind, you got to be thinking you're racist. I can get in that perspective, but it's not an open mind. It's not taking all the facts into consideration. I've thought that before. Like, well, in order to even like say something like that, and that's true too. The content of what they say could be different. If someone says something and it really comes across like they think that because of their skin color, they're actually superior or something, their stupidity shines through. And then that's something that's different than somebody screaming a word that they think would hurt somebody the most, like, why should I listen to your fat ass? Get out of here. Like you're having an argument, a debate with somebody about something, and then you end up going, dude, listen, man, you're hold on, your bald head is like shining off my eyes. Like people think that somehow like adding that insult gets them leverage, and it's it's kind of like a line of self-defense. It's part of our survival instincts, if you really break it down, like we do here on this podcast. So if she even said the word, doesn't automatically make somebody something. It means that they tried to hurt somebody and come up with a hurtful word, and that's what I believe. Outside of that, she's always been super cool to me. I enjoy seeing her, and I look forward to seeing her March 20th on our first OWA show.
Heck yeah. Katie, did you have any thoughts too you wanted to add, or anything, your thoughts, Tessa, or anything to that regard?
She's always been nice to me. But yeah, I don't know what you said, baby.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, so the thing that happened was with La Rosa Negra, and that almost happened 10 years ago, and they made up. Like they made up, so like, and everything was cool with them
together.
Huh?
I saw a picture of them together recently.
Yeah.
So I heard at one point that she actually was saying that girl's name.
Maybe and from what I keep hearing too is like what you were saying, like a lot of the girls in the industry have it out for her, kind of giving her a hard time when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I kind of go by your philosophy of like, depending on how I get treated, how I make a judgment on the person when I interact with them, and like, obviously you take some stuff into context, but I thought she was a great interview. She was a really nice person, and everything that I garnered from her, like, I'm all for her getting another big shot at wrestling, because she's really talented and she's good at it. So, but yeah, I thought it was.
I didn't like that she power bombed Brian Cage, but that's another story.
Sure, yeah, that's how things. Yeah, absolutely, yeah, that's a different thing for sure. But cool. All right, awesome. Just wanted your thoughts on that, those aspects. Corey just gave us $10. Corey, if you have a question. Oh wait, maybe you did. Yeah.
Corey.
Oh yeah. Oh, he said he screwed up not texting. but it's in the chat. Okay, here it is. So he actually did have a question, but thank you for the $10 too. Did you find it easier to put a match together with someone like Ray or Sabu, or more of a Kane or a Big Show?
Of course, Sabu, because that's your bro, right?
Yeah, easiest with Sabu, and then no matter what you have in mind, it ain't gonna go down that way anyway. So that makes it easier because you just know that you got ideas out there, and if you can pull them out in any random order, then you got some material to work with.
Yeah. All right, cool, interesting. Jem, the Dawn asked Katie a question. Katie, what is your finishing move?
My finishing move is which I can't remember which one I was doing last time, baby. I used to do the tornado DDT off the top rope.
Ooh, nice.
And then sometimes I'd switch it, and my submission is kind of like the Muda lock, where I do a back bend and choke them, but it's called the Forbes drop.
Oh.
So sometimes I do that, and people tap out from it, and then
that's your finish.
Yeah, and sometimes Samoan drop.
Samoan drop too.
Yeah, and then I squat them a few times, and then I squat them. I mean, I squat them a few times, and I drop them.
Oh, okay. Did you do that in TNA too? Because I think I remember seeing.
Yeah.
It. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's been my thing. But the reason I laugh when I say tornado DDT, because that was like my finisher move, like the first half of my career. Then I switched it, like the second half of my career, it changed.
Yeah. That's pretty neat though. Okay, cool. Hell yeah. Let's see if there's anybody else get any super chats in here. Oh, Maddie did a couple. He said, "Remember, 2050 is closer than 1990."
Until we meet again. Yeah.
Wow. Is that true?
What was? Yep.
That is true.
Yeah, 25 years away, one way, and
35
years.
Yeah. 30. Yeah. Holy crap, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Today, the one I saw from the Skeletor was, remember, the word B has two E's, and they're both silent.
Whoa.
We meet again. Yeah. That was.
Whoa. That blew my mind.
Yeah.
Holy crap, you're right.
It takes 2 lives to know you only needed 2 lives.
Yeah, I told him that one before.
Oh, here's another one. Maddie says,
"Follow that Skeletor on Instagram." Isaac or
send
something.
it to me on my DM.
Okay.
Maddie has another one too. Remember, when a pregnant woman goes swimming, she is a human submarine. If Goldberg, why can't RVD be given the world champ run WrestleMania 420? Ooh, he wants you to win the world title at WrestleMania.
That'd be an interesting story.
Yeah.
Let me finish my story.
Let Rob finish his story in Las Vegas. Maybe you win the Royal Rumble. I'd like that.
And you're undefeated at WrestleMania. WrestleMania is on 420, and it's in our city.
Hey, can't beat that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on. So you wanna go to the dildo segment?
Sure. We did get one more super chat real quick, so let's do that, and then we'll jump to the dildo. Frankie Teresa always asks the good questions. Were you legit cocky in ECW?
Yes. I was. I mean,
yeah.
So I mean, looking back at it, it's right and necessary to do what I did and to be where I was. But looking back at it from the puffing dragon Zen master that I am today, I look at it more as a character flaw. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like my head was so far up my ass that I wasn't realizing what was going around me. Like when I hurt some people, I didn't show that I cared or whatever, because in my mind, I was already like moving on to the next thing, and when I get hurt, it wasn't a big deal. It was like, okay, well, that's part of the game. I'm hurt. So I would look at it like that. But looking back at it, it seems a little incompassionate. For example, in that match when I'm in a match with One Man Gang, and boom, shoots me in the corner, and he comes in with a clothesline or a splash or something. I move out of the way. He turns around, and I hit him with a spinning kick that catches him right here. Boom. And when you get hit like right there, there's like this nerve endings behind your jaw, and it can knock you out. And this one did. And when he collapsed on his own leg and broke his tibia.
Oh,
yeah. And I probably didn't know at the time, I don't know. I finished the match, just went on being me, and I talked to Rod Price, who was always a really good friend of One Man Gangs at Wildcats a few years ago, and we were talking about that moment. And Rod Price told me that afterwards, like it was a horrible, horrible night. Like Paul Heyman had allegedly given them an address to go to, like a foot doctor or something, a doctor. And then when they got there, they said the address was bogus. It was some other place, or it didn't exist or something. And they ended up, I think Gang ended up using duct tape and taping his leg, because he had to take off and go to Japan. And he did. And he wrestled on his broken leg in Japan, and it was really hard for him. And then boom, as far as I know, he was done. Like, boom, you just ended One Man Gang's career. Never heard of him again. A year, 2 years, like he was done wrestling. And I felt like, fuck, man, that was like that was from my kick. And when I talked to Rod Price made a point of telling me that I never even bothered calling him. Gang, never checked on him, see how he was or anything. And now whenever I see Gang, I want to make up for it, and give him a big hug, and but it doesn't really make up for it. But he forgives me though, and if there's forgiveness to be had there, but him and his wife always reminds me every time we see, you broke his leg.
Damn.
I know. So for instance, I think I was a little too cocky.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's like, from a character standpoint, it was great. It fit. Like, you're like, this guy, he's cocky and he backs it up every time.
Right. Yeah. It was a shoot. It was a complete shoot. I just, in my real life, as an introvert, it just seems like that'd be like so foul for me to be like trying to get my machismo out there and fucking make sure everyone's impressed with it. It's like, ew, gross. Like, not on my time,
Right. Well, cool. Okay. So some good insight there. Good question, Frankie. Thank you for doing that. Hey, somebody just gave us $2. Hurting for Sturgeon. Wait, maybe he did follow up with a question, because I see something else in here. You and lady should come do some sturgeon fishing up here in Portland, Oregon for free on me if you'd be interested sometime.
I love fishing.
Yeah.
I do love fishing. I just got given from a friend of mine at the gym. Gave me all these fishing rods and bait, the string, all the things I need to fish, because I do it a lot in the South, but I'm going to start doing it out here, like maybe somewhere in Vegas.
Ooh.
But I do it in the South with my family. I love fishing. I love being on boats when I'm in Florida and Tennessee.
Man,
that's for the invite from Portland.
Rob, do you like fishing? Have you gone fishing?
I mean, it's been since I was a kid. I used to do it with my dad, and I wasn't into it that much. I really don't like eating fish, or I'm not a seafood eater.
Yeah.
So my menu of sushi items is pretty small, like just tuna. okay, cool. Salmon, all right, you know, and then it's like, oh, they got chicken here, you know.
But I
Chicken
love
finger neck.
seafood, and I love playing the claw games. So it feels kind of like gambling to me, like the claw game, because sometimes like I'll feel the fish bite, and then I get really excited and start reeling it, but then somehow it just like took my bait and swam off.
Yeah.
So I like the feeling. Like to me, it is like gambling, like that adrenaline rush. Like, oh my god, I got something. Yeah, no. And then if you actually reel it in, keep the fish on the pole, and get to keep it, then also get to eat it for dinner is so rewarding for me. So it's exciting. And I love being on the water. It's just so peaceful. That's my favorite place to be.
That's true too. It's so therapeutic. I haven't
It
fished
is.
when I was a kid either, though. But I think now at my age, I think I would like doing it and stuff like that.
I saw this cartoon. Look, your life is beautiful.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Let's see.
She makes me very happy. She makes me happy, Rob. What was I just gonna say?
I was talking about fishing, and
Oh, okay. So it reminded me of this cartoon that I saw one time. It was just like a one panel cartoon with the water, level in the middle, and above the water, there's a guy standing in the boat. I showed you this. A guy standing in the boat with a fishing rod that goes in the water, and he's got his boys in the boat, and they're saying, Dad's trying to bring us some food home. Something like that. That's grammatically sounds like it's fucking fucked up. But dad's like dad's bringing food home for the family, and then you go under the water and you see the fish that's like about to bite the hook, and he's got a bunch of little fish behind him, and they say the exact same thing. Dad's bringing some food home to the family.
Yeah. That is sad. Dang it.
Yeah, I felt like crying when I saw it.
Yeah,
It's so sad.
that was the hardest part. Well, the hardest part to me about fishing is just taking something's life that's fighting for it and wants its life, but I make sure to eat it when I catch it. And also, like I was saying, sometimes they come through and take my bait, and then they just keep swimming, and I don't even catch them. So I feel like I feed like 20% more random fishes than I catch. So I am eating some fish families.
What about like when people like just pull them off the hook and throw them back in the water? Now they got a big hole in their face where a hook like
sometimes if they're okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can just unhook them and throw them back. Like we do that with catfish.
Aren't they handicapped for the rest of their life?
Sometimes. Well, I didn't do it with catfish, but I saw someone do it. Anthony did it and threw it back in because.
Have you ever been catfished?
But anyway, their explanation was they'll be okay. They could have just been telling me that, so I wasn't upset.
They get a piercing. They can get a piercing and put in there.
Yeah, but even going through that experience makes me appreciate meat and fish so much. Like seeing it go through that process makes me never want to waste anything.
Yeah.
Like if that motherfucker's gonna fight for its life, then I definitely am not gonna cook it and leave it in the fridge.
Yeah.
It's getting ate.
Heck yeah. I know. I grew up in a big hunting town. I never hunted, but I know a lot of people did, and they would, obviously make use of the deer. Some people would be idiots though and just shoot the deer and not do anything with it.
Horrible. I know. My dad would trick me with that. Growing up in Georgia, he would feed me chili, and then I was like, "This chili's so good," and Dad would be like, "Yeah, this is deer meat, baby." I'm like, ah, like if I was doing that before I started eating it, but he'd wait till I put it over before, and then he'd tell me.
Yeah. That was part of my childhood too. Like every once in a while, it's called what? Venison.
Yeah.
And people always loved it, and I would always, it was hard to eat just knowing it. It's weird though.
Yeah.
Just like because I wasn't brought up to eat certain, like what is it? Like duck, for instance. You know what I mean? It's weird for me to eat a duck, and I remember being a picky eater on overseas trips, and like in Ireland they eat duck, and it's like I remember like a little kid, like, and it's like, is it that much different than chicken? Like,
no,
it's just that I was raised on chicken, but same thing with deer. Is it that much different than a cow? If you look at how gross it is to be putting the flesh in your,
we're so judgmental of animals, like on the chain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true too. Dang. Did you get the first day of buck season and stuff off when you guys were at school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you?
No, I don't think so. That's crazy.
Yeah, we did. We
Day
get
off? No, now that I'm listening to what you said, I don't know.
yeah. No, we did. It was crazy, and I never hunted, so it was like a day off from school. All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And in the South, they closed school for like half an inch of snow, and
Yeah.
y'all probably in Michigan probably had to like have 15 feet of snow before they'd cancel school.
Right.
Yep.
I remember the fairies had deer hanging in the garage, like letting all the blood drip.
Oh my god!
Like the
That's
DeMayo crew. We talked about that. The murder.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And hang him over the bathtub. Yeah, same thing.
They'd have pizza parties.
What about like people that have the heads of animals like all over their walls?
I feel like that was so 90s and 80s. Like that's out of taxidermy is out of style now.
Yeah.
But back then it was a lot more common to do that. It's like a trophy, saving your snake that you shot.
Yeah.
But I thought like when I was so in love with our dog Petrie and she was 14, like I was like, would that be weird? And then Rob's like, yeah, that would be so
yeah.
But I'm like, you'll be like, she's like napping all the time. But I just couldn't fathom how I was going to let her go. So it wasn't like I was really considering it. I just ran it by him. But he's like, that is weird. But I'm sure some people do get their animal stuff because, 100%. Yeah, then you at least still cuddle them after.
Oh, man.
But yeah, sometimes mentally it's just best to let go.
Yeah.
Not let go, but you know.
It's like Norman Bates shit from the movie Psycho. He kept his grandma's body.
People keep pets' ashes and stuff. I know. People keep the pets' ashes here and there. I know.
Yeah,
we do that. We got those.
Yeah. I was thinking like when the California fires were hitting, I was like, what would I grab if I had to just run in the house and the house is on fire? I'm like, do I grab our dog's ashes? Like, it seems like that would be one of the most important things.
Weed.
Or like the most
the whole area get high. Yeah. I know. I thought about that too. I was like, what would I grab if I was in a rush like that?
Yeah. It'd be hard. And when you're in a rush and
how about a fire extinguisher?
Yeah. But when you're in a rush too, it's hard to think clearly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Let's say hi. Let's say hi.
There's Barbie.
Barbie D. Barbie D.
Someone asked how old they are. Barbie is 4. She already has a lot of gray hairs too.
Really?
She's had gray hair since she was like 2.
Get her.
And then Lovey just turned 1.
Yeah.
Lovey.
You're sweet,
Barbie is her daddy's shadow.
Yeah.
He cuddles Rob all night. They cuddle. She waits for him every time he's in the bathroom, and he goes any room, she's with him.
And does Lovey hang out with you most then, Katie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Lovey.
Yeah, and here's Lovey. This is our 1-year-old.
Look at Lovey.
Same breed.
Wow. Look at Lovey.
Look at the little puppy. You're so sweet. Love. Little love bug.
She sits like this on my shoulder. She'll even sleep on my shoulder.
Yeah. That's great.
We had her at WrestleCon, so a lot of fans met her. She was there WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, that was great. That's when I got to see her too.
Are you going to be at WrestleCon coming up?
Not at the Royal Rumble. I won't be. I'll be WrestleMania. I'll be there in April. I'll be there.
Alrighty.
Yeah, heck yeah. I wanted to go, but didn't get credentialed from WWE, so I was like, maybe I won't go then.
Yeah, I'll be at all 3 of the WrestleCons that they're doing this year. If I'm still alive. I mean, that's the plan.
Yeah, God willing, right?
Yeah, God willing.
Yeah.
Someone said, thanks for having us, Barbie.
Thanks for having us.
We took her to an autograph signing in California. She was like literally crying. Like she didn't understand why her dad gave other people attention, because normally she has his attention every moment. So she's like, come on. Yeah, she's impatient.
Hey, we got a couple other super chats. Beef jerky is just cow raisins, says Corey Donovan. Wow, that's wild. That's really true.
Cow raisins.
That makes sense. Try to.
It is, huh?
Yeah.
Understandably, if so, you were the best. I wonder what Frankie meant by that.
I don't know.
So,
Let's try and solve that puzzle.
Maybe if you were cocky, you were still the best.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, and he understands why you were cocky.
Good job. Good job, baby. High five. Oh, that's our high five that we do.
Yeah. And if it's a win, we put 2 hands up and like this.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're that couple.
You're that couple.
Yeah, it was a shoot though, being cocky and backing it up, and it worked for me.
Yeah.
Now I would just say confident over cocky.
Confident over cocky. That's the way to be. That's the way to be. All right, Rob, are you ready for the conversation that you want to do?
Well, so I said earlier that like if you're in a debate with somebody, an intelligent debate, and then you bring insults in, call them fat because they're fat, even though it has nothing to do with the argument. It really exposes you for being not necessarily being stupid, but for not having an intelligent point to make, and so you normally I'm against that. I do believe that when you argue with stupid people, they will bring you down to their level and then beat you with experience. I do believe that. And a lot of people wonder like why I give time towards anybody. Like sometimes it'll be on Twitter and I'll go back and forth to someone. It's been a while, but it's happened a lot of times. And then people are like, why you waste your time with this guy, man? No one believes him. And the answer to that, is that it's for everybody. It's for everybody else. I know I'm talking to a brick wall with my debate, and this person does not have the brain power to understand my points. But when it comes to having an intelligent debate, that is not what this is going to be right here. This is the perfect platform for an entertaining view of a subject that we're going to talk about. So I want to put this disclaimer up. If what I say in this next segment offends any of you because it comes close to home or it crosses lines of things that you say or talk about, then I am sorry for offending you. That's not my intention. Unless you're part of the Dylan Hines crime family. If you're Dildo or Bad Business Bobby, forget that part. Be offended. Come at me with your lawsuit, you stupid people. So let's put up the post that Dildo posted the other day. It seemed to be out of the blue, and he texted me at the same day or whatever and said, I'll suggest you quit lying and blah, blah, blah. All right, let's look at what Dildo, and by the way, besides it being entertaining, talking about this, a lot of people are interested. Like after this happened, a lot of people were messaging me on Facebook telling me about their unfortunate times that they got to meet Bad Business Bobby or Dildo and the times that they had. So the stories just keep growing. This guy, Jay Sally, reporter, doing a serious story. What's that?
I have the article. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
And doing an actual, big story that it's going to make it out of the wrestling business. And Bad Business Bobby has destroyed his career to stick up for Dildo, which I get, family, what are you going to do? And I'll come back to that too. But here we go. Rob Van Dam is nothing more. Rob Van Dam is nothing more than a lying alcoholic and drug addict. More to come. So to talk about this. First off, shocking allegations, Dildo. Shocking. Half the people in the world that know who I am think that I'm a drug addict anyway. Like, that'd be like me saying Dildo Hines is an autistic kid, but that's just a small part of him. The biggest part is he's an asshole that just happens to be autistic. Everybody knows that, except you. And I'm sorry if this is the first time you're finding out, Dildo. I blame it on your daddy. You know, your daddy should have told you when you were younger, when you were a little boy. What did he tell you? Did he tell you that you were special? No. He just put some glasses and a nose on that big old head and told you that you were related to Mr. Potato Head, right? He should have told you, but you're obviously not quite at the same pace or rate as other people. And I've always known that. It comes across in the way that Dildo treats people. And I've heard him treating a lot of fans like that. I couldn't understand why Devon wanted to punch him in the face. I was like, look at him. You can't do that. Everyone's going to think you beat up a retarded kid. Because if you don't know him, then you don't understand. Once you know him, then you understand. So anybody listening, you know, I'm not trying to pick on the handicapped or special kids by any means. But Dildo is a functioning autistic for real. And he's such an asshole. And he's also dishonest and a thief. And he wants to win this argument with me at any cost. So, okay, a drug addict, an alcoholic, great. Yeah, super. Okay, you know, I need a drink, whatever. But lying, nobody's gonna believe that, Dildo. See, you don't have any concept of the value of honesty. I totally think that you saw that lawyer, that gay lawyer that President Trump learned from. What's his name? Damn, I'm blanking on his name. You know who I'm talking about too? The guy that
I hear about him vaguely. I know. So I can figure.
And he taught him, you know, like whatever.
Roy Cohn.
Thank you, Roy Cohn. Yeah, where's my Roy Cohn? I think the Dildo saw that and decided those are my values too. I'm gonna do that. If someone accuses me of something, deny. What else am I gonna do? Attack, make shit up. That is a winning formula. I'm sure that's what Dildo said, and it's turned him into an asshole. And once you get to know Dildo, like, you know, I worked with him and his dad. You know, again, Bobby dad didn't want to do a contract. He said, you never have to worry about me fucking you, which turns out to be a joke because he fucked me and then he fucked me again. And then Dildo wants to separate that, I guess, from his time. But back to what I was saying. I am honest though. Like, I actually had a conversation with Bobby one time and I said, you know, I'm the most honest person that I know. And you know what he said? He said, me too. And that ended up being bullshit. Because he's not so honest, because he told me he's going out of business. He told me he's quit. He can't pay me, he's done. But then here he's still in business, isn't he, Dildo? So thing is, I thought about it, Dildo, and if you want to try to get anybody to back you up besides your daddy, who else could possibly not like RVD and get behind you and back you up and support you and be a witness? Because the only people I can think of are the people that you had me fuck over. There was 2 or 3 times when I was booked for a different promoter that happened to be somebody that the Fultons beefed with. Moose got me booked on this show. The guy got mad because after I took the booking, I had to cancel it. And so he did a video burning RVD action figures. Maybe this sounds familiar. This was when me and Dildo were friends, got along, all right? This is almost exactly what he said, word for word. And I say almost because leaving room, a margin, but I pretty much pick up the phone one time and he says, Rob, if you do that booking that you got with so-and-so on the so-and-so date, we will never use you again. I'm like, fuck you. You don't come at me like that, you know? And dad had to get on the phone on a three-way, you know, and had to, it was like a big deal. And I was saying, so what? Why do you care if I'm taking someone else's money? And they're just like, no, they always try and like tear our stuff down. They promote against us and try to ruin our shows and talk bad about us. And we just, Bobby was like, man, we really, like want you to cancel it. And I canceled the show and, but it wasn't, I was only booked for like a day or something or, so it wasn't like a no-show or anything like that. I took the book in, called 12 hours later. Fuck. I gotta send them money. I sent them money back because they gave me a deposit. Unlike Bad Business Bobby, they gave me the 50% to put in my bank account, which is where I usually hold. I take to hold the dates on the calendar for bookings. I made an exception for Bad Business Bobby because I have known him since like the early 90s. And I used to wrestle him, we used to pay him $250 to wrestle one match, then come back in a purple Barney the dinosaur outfit and take pictures with little kids.
Wow.
So when he said, I never have to worry about him fucking me, I trusted him. Right. After Dildo, shorted me in Philly, not only by trying to say that stuff was included that was added on after we agreed on a price, but in the end, he even talked Bobby into thinking that they shouldn't pay for my hotel because I'm taking other bookings in Philly.
What?
Yeah. Now, on any normal weekend, I agree. You know what I mean? Like if somebody books me in Pittsburgh and then somebody else calls because they hear that I'm there. If they want me to do the night before, fuck no, man. I can't do that to the guy that booked me. If they want me to do the night after, then I'll say, well, I'm going to ask the promoter. And I ask them, I just want to put this on you because if you're cool with it, then I'll take his money too. I'll do a double booking. If you're not cool with it, because it could hurt your crowd, because some of the people can hear that I'm going to be there and go there instead of here when you're the one flying me in and shit. If you feel that way, I would feel the exact same way if I were you. And so that happens a lot on my own. I do that myself. When someone else tries to do the leech on, bottom feeder,
yeah.
I think, I asked the first guy, and then if you guys want to work it out, sometimes they split the airplane or some costs, whatever. That happens sometimes where they work together, whatever. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. I don't know how I got talking about that with it. But anyway, there was a couple of times where I had to cancel the bookings because they beefed with them. Those guys, Dildo, they might have a little bit of bad feelings towards RVD because of you or me. Ultimately, I made the decision to trust the Fulton / Hines crime family. And I can't take credit for that. Someone else, I just loved it and thought it was
It's good though.
The Hines crime family. Someone else that wants to put them to a stop. Little Dildo keeps threatening a lawsuit. He says, I'm going to sue you for you trying to keep my family from being able to make a living. So Dildo, this is my message to you, okay? I'm giving you material here. Yes, I accept your lawsuit. Please bring it. As far as trying to keep you and your fucking family from making a living, now you're making it one of my priorities that the Hines crime family's scams cease to exist and they stop ripping my friends off. But I know on your own that show by show, day by day, as you lose talent because you ripped them off, I know that you're going to do it on your own anyway. He says, Dildo, that I'm mad that he took a commission. Why would I give a fuck that agent takes a commission when they get me booked somewhere? I don't care. And when I found out that night, I found out that it was 50% commission that Dildo was taking. I even said, I shrugged it off right there and said, you know, hey, I agreed to do it for this price as an add-on to what we already had agreed upon, even though he tried to absorb it in there. But now he wants to say that. He wants to say RVD is mad because we don't book him. Do you really, Dildo, do you think anybody believes that RVD wants you to book him? Seriously? Nobody in their right mind should want you to book them if they have any other choice whatsoever. You guys suck. So what happened was I paid for my hotel in Philly because you talked Daddy into thinking, but that's what I was going to say. Any other weekends and shit, we split it, whatever. But WrestleMania, WrestleCon week, everybody, you get booked and you go there. And then some people have, 20 bookings that week. You book yourself out. That's something that happens every week. So I did end up paying for my hotel. And I also got shorted some money by Dildo. And when besides him passing out drunk, do you want to show that video real quick?
Sure. Yeah, we can show that when you pop that up here.
This is a booking in Philly on at the casino. That's my agent there that booked me there. The guy, I'm gonna try to get him on the show here. But the guy that was the middleman said that Dildo took his deposit and then disappeared on him for months, and that he had to go through everybody he could think of to try to get a hold of me. And then Dildo came back in at the end, and then we had like a free bar tab up at the front. And according to the guy, Dildo knew it was only at the front, but Dildo brought us all to the back to watch the screen and watch WrestleMania and start a whole new tab. And as I'm told, it wasn't taken care of. And when I look at Dildo sleeping there, passed out, I think maybe I know why it wasn't taken care of and why he might not remember it. Yeah, but anyway, you can get the guy that burnt the RVD action figures. Maybe I can't imagine anybody else that you would get to back you up, Dildo. But when you bring me to court, I got a list of a few witnesses that I'm going to bring. And they include, but are definitely not limited to, Devon Dudley, Marty, the husband whose wife you just lost your virginity to recently, CJ Perry, which, by the way, Mike from High Spots. When I saw Mike from High Spots talking to Dildo at WrestleMania, I didn't know what was going on, and I just socializing, like was walking up towards him or whatever, and like, hey, why are you guys so serious? Mike ignored me, and I heard him say to Dildo, oh, okay, that's fine. I heard him say to Dildo, Dildo, this is a serious accusation. Sexual assault is something very serious, and I can't. And I was like, whoa, what? Are you serious? And I looked at Dildo, and I'm like, I'm out of here. And I just left. I didn't want to hear anything else. I couldn't believe it, But the very next morning, when Katie and Dee and I were down in the lobby, Dildo came down. Well, everybody knew that he had fucked over Sonny Ono the night before, which he's on my list too, Sonny Ono and the Japanese boys. And they had some words outside, and the Japanese boys there, and he got pushed, Dildo, and made a phone call up to Bad Business Bobby up in his room. I shit myself, Dad. I shit myself, Dad. He shit himself, didn't you, Dildo? When you were pushed in the bushes. And we knew about it. Everybody knew. And we knew what happened. But the next day, he's sitting there lying to us. And that's when I lost all my respect for him and knew that he would lie to me face to face. D said, so you don't know who that was that attacked you last night? And he's like, what would you do, Rob? Like that's something he would do, like start laughing like nervously, like he thought he made a funny joke or something. And you know, so we're milking him a little bit, knowing he's lying to us. Of course he knew who the fuck is. So anyway, Sonny Ono and the Japanese guys, the guy from the casino, Chris, we talked about him, Matt Riddle and his wife. We're gonna bring them, call them in as well. We're gonna call in Sabu. Sabu says that that he did a signing. First off, that he had a signing booked, and then they left him hanging. And he said that Dildo said, "Well, I thought you wouldn't want to come in because Rob's mad at us." So Sabu's like, "Fuck, what I care about that? You know, this is our business." And he went there, and I can't. This is only hearsay, so I'm not going to say so much because I don't know exactly. But according to Sabu, Bobby had the money bag. And Dildo accused Sabu of stealing the money bag, saying it was missing, knowing that Daddy had it the whole time. That is some shady shit, if that's what happened. And I wasn't there, you know, but more details too. That's the part that I could understand and believe out of the stuff that Sabu was trying to explain. But Fonzie says that same thing happened to him. I didn't think he'd want to work with us because Rob's mad at us. Why is he mad at you? Because we don't book him anymore. And Fonzie says that Dildo told him that I told him, Fonzie said that he said to Dildo, do you owe Van Damme some money? And he said that Dildo said, no, but he said he needs it for his house payments. Did you say that, Dildo? You silly pants shitting guy. He says that it ended after WrestleMania, after that time that he ripped me off for the casino and I paid for my own hotel and all that stuff. But it didn't, because you and your daddy are the same. Because your daddy said he was going to pay me back for the money you ripped me off from when I showed him the text messages. And then we could see that it was like March 15th when you talked to the guy, and we talked way before. And maybe we'll bring those up because this is kind of fun, Dildo. You are a pretty interesting, funny, and creepy and bogus little guy. So I just wanted to also say, you know, he said it ended there. It should have ended there because I got booked 2 more times by Daddy. And Dad said, and this is kind of why I took the bookings, because I already got screwed out of money. Normally, we're cool till you screw me out of money. And when everyone else had problems and would say, how can you work with him? I would say, hey, he's never screwed me over. Well, once he did screw me over, the reason that I kept working is because I told Bobby I wasn't going to work with Dylan anymore. I would only do it if it was Bobby. And Bobby was going to pay me back the money that Dylan had screwed, or some amount, and agreed upon, you know, what do you call it when you compromise in the negotiation? All right, there you go. Good, baby. That was good. Anyway, let me get some water. So he books me again, and then he doesn't have. Not only does he not have the money from the extra money, but he doesn't have all my money that he's supposed to pay me for today. You know. And then he's trying to talk. Now, Dildo, you weren't there, so you don't even know about this. But somebody was there. And I bet Christina, even though she's going to back Bad Business Bobby up, being his wife / girlfriend, whatever, she's going to back him up. But she's honest. She's pretty honest. And I bet she even would admit that this conversation took place just like this in the van. And you were there, baby. And Bobby was like, we got to come up with something. I'm losing too much money. And I said, I got the solution for you, Bobby. Quit booking me. I said, boom, there you go. It's that easy. I said, I'm not going to do like a compromise or take a risk with you. I only work for guarantees. See, some wrestlers, we all have different deals, and some guys will work for a percentage, whatever. And maybe sometimes I would do that with somebody else, but I work for a guarantee, and then it's up to the promoter to bring me to the bigger cons where they can make money. And Bobby was saying, these conventions are so slow and there's not enough people here, I'm losing money. And I said, just quit booking me. I said, let's cancel. I'll cancel the rest of them that you have me booked on for the rest of the year, and you'll quit losing money. And he didn't want to do that. Christina, bad business. Bobby didn't want to do that. He said, "No, well, I'll be more selective." Excuse me. That's what he said. He'd be more selective. Only bring me to the shows that who's gonna make money at. So, man, I still trusted him. I said, it's Bobby. Known him a long time. We're good. I mean, he owes me a little bit for this time now, and he owes me for Philly still. But we did another show, and then that was WrestleCon, right? That was the one where YouTube Chris was there.
Yeah.
That was in Cleveland.
So that was in Cleveland. So that was a while after the Philly show. I'm still working for the Hines crime family at this point and getting shorted. And there, Bobby pulls me into a room and he says, and he gave me some money. And he said, that's what you brought in. And he said, that's all I got. And I said, what do you mean that's all you got? He said, I don't have any more, man. He goes, I don't. He goes, I'm done. I'm done. I quit the business. I said, well, okay, what's that got to do with me getting paid? I did my job. And he's like, I don't have it. I go, so you mean like you owe it? I don't have it. I'm done. I quit the business. And then he told me he makes like $1,200 a month from government funding. And I'm like, Jesus, what am I going to do? Punch him? Because it is the kind of business, if that does sound crazy to anybody listening, pro wrestling is the kind of business where when something exactly like this happens, sometimes you do handle it that way. I remember like in 1993 when this promoter fucked me in, I was going to say Fort Myers, whatever it was on the East Coast, whatever that beach is. And anyway, it was one of those times, just like the Joe Lake thing in Detroit. But he had a bunch of guys booked, didn't have my money, and I was working for a big $150 back then. Right? But he told me that he didn't have the money, and I was like, "Do I punch him? I should punch him because that way other promoters will smarten up and fucking not be so." Not fuck us over like that, And I'm thinking like he says he's gonna mail me a check, and I could use the $150, And I was like, man, if I beat his ass, then I'm definitely not gonna get paid. If I just leave and let him get away with it, then I might get paid. I might not get paid anyway. And it was like a tough decision to do, and he was hanging his head, because obviously he had fucked up and counted on the gate. But anyway, that is what happens sometimes, the Joe Lake incident. Guy booked a WrestleMania in Detroit one year and everyone booked there. Great. Jim Neidhart went with the kid around the next day trying to collect money, like from his mom's employment place and everything. And, you do what you got to do,
Yeah.
But in my career, I thought I was past that, but I did stick my neck out. So I do only blame myself. I don't, it's not a huge, big chapter, it doesn't set me back. It's not, we're just talking about a few appearances and we're talking about the truth to what happened, and we're talking about more and more people that are finding out that the Hines crime family doesn't care about honesty too much. Did you quit? Bad news, Bobby? Are you done with the business? I mean, You didn't even like go bankrupt and then open up with a different fucking company. Like you're still big time wrestling, running shows, booking boys, and ripping them off. Speaking of which, Ricky Morton and Ricky Morton's son will also be called on my list. Gary Morton.
Yeah.
I think I might call Christina too. I like to have her on my show because she would say that's exactly what happened. I said, I don't work for less than my guarantee. If you want to book me for that, cool. If not, no hard feelings. Let's end this right now and get you out of the hole. And instead, Bobby booked me 2 more times, shorted me 2 more times, and then his autistically functioning son Dildo is out there trying to get people to believe his spin on events. So yeah, if you haven't had the pleasure of meeting Dildo yet, it'll take like one time, and it's Bobby's fault. Bobby teaches him, he supports his bad behavior. Shame on you, Bobby. Shame on you, Dildo. But if you really think you can get a lawyer, Dildo, because you think the criminal justice system or civil justice system is set up to protect you when people call you on your bullshit from lying and ripping people off, you're going to learn that's not what it's for. That's not what the civil justice system is for at all, Dildo. It's to take people like you and stop you from ripping people off.
Also added, Rob, yeah, to your point, they're having a show scheduled in March, so it's not like they're ending.
I actually got notified and offered to work a show that's like the very next day that's very close to them. And this show, we should advertise it, but it looks like a WrestleMania. Like, what town is it?
Your show or the one they're having?
No, there's neither.
Oh, okay.
An independent show right up the road from the Heinz crime family the very next day. And it's like,
oh, no, that's not that one.
But you know what? I'm going to look and send you the poster while you're going over sponsors.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's do a little sponsorship here. Hold on, let me pull it up. This week, what do we have? Let me make sure I got what it is. Guys, in the meantime, though, check out rvd420.com. That is Greek glass. You can get your own RVD glassware. Smoke them if you got them. Spark them if you got them. You can do it in style with rvd420.com. And the guys at Greek Glass, they do some beautiful work. It's even great collectible items if you don't even want to use them, but it's awesome stuff. They do really, really good job. So go to rvd420.com and you can get your own kind of glassware there too. I will promote too 1tsport.com. Go to 1tsport.com. We have exclusive RVD merchandise that you can purchase. Hats, t-shirts, hoodie. No, do we have a hoodie yet? No, we just have crew neck sweaters. But more to come there. So go to 1tsport.com. While I pull up our sponsors, I want to make sure I got the right sponsors this week, just so I do. Where are we at here? Boom. And this week we have, this is a good one. Let me pull that up there real quick. Also, let's see if that pops up. Here we go. So, guys, I'm a big fan of Via. Via is a really, really cool sponsor that we have. And it is gummies that you can get, both in THC kind and in CBD form. I really like the CBD version. It's called Flow State. That's my favorite one. Kind of keeps you elevated and gets your mind in the right state of mind if you got some work to do or anything like that. But you can also get the Elevate, which is the THC version. I like those ones a lot, but the gummies are great. Really cool different flavors, but you get plenty. They gave us a good starter pack that was curated for us, and you can check it out. So if you're 21 or plus, check out the link to Via in our description and use code RVD to receive 15% off. And if you're new to Via, you get a free gift of your choice. After your purchase, they ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that One of a Kind with RVD sent you. This year, enhance your everyday with Via. So there you go. And And then I also got to give a shout out to Get Blitzed. Go to get-blitz.com. Mickey Ray Sinatra and Courtney out of Maryland. They do THC Get Lit Aid. And man, it is very effective. I have the blue raspberry in my cabinet. And it was a big hit at WrestleMania this past year with a lot of the talents. But yeah, you can use promo code RVD, get 15% off. It's Delta 9. It's legal in all 50 states. Scan that QR code if you see it, or go to get-blitz.com. Use promo code RVD. Get 15% off your order. So there you go. Cool.
Hey,
so
can you send that to him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But guys, yes, if you have any questions too, I will shout out Seth here. Seth Rob has gave us $20, so thank you, Seth. He said, "What's up, RVD and Katie? Guess who's coming to Only Wrestlers show in LA?" Seth,
Hey, no
Awesome.
shit. We're gonna meet fucking Venice Beach Dub Club.
how about that?
Ooh, he's gonna look exactly like me. I just know it.
Hey, yeah, right.
That one time there's a picture of his back. You know, he's
Yeah.
got a ponytail and shit. I remember. I thought that was me at first.
Well, this too is what he's offering. He's like,
yeah.
he's asking if you're wrestling and if you want him to play to the ring live. If not this time, then one day manifest.
Yes, that'd be awesome. I'm gonna be wrestling.
She is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be on the first show. We're going to make that a little more special. So, yeah, we got a lot of talent though, and we're pretty stoked about it. Yeah. Yeah, I guess dude's listening that sent me the poster because he sent it back to me when I mentioned it just now. So.
Oh, okay. I have it on my phone here. So let me.
Anyway, this is happening in Ohio, in Cincinnati, or near that the next night, and but it looks like their budget's probably used up because they got a lot of talent there, and that's what I said. But let's we should put that up and promote it, and hey, like Dildo wants to sue me for trying to put an end to his scam. Good job or good luck getting a lawyer.
Yeah, good luck with that crap. Jeez, oh man. Ugh. Okay, so here it is. It's called Spooky Nook Slam. Let me upload it here to the little StreamYard here. And then both can promote it. Download.
I should have just held it up to the fucking camera, I guess.
Okay.
What the hell?
Got here. Boom. Spooky Nook Slam. Look at, you're right. Look at the crew that's there. You got the Sandman, Jimmy Hart, Ricky Steamboat, JBL, Matt Riddle, Shane Douglas, Tugboat, aka Typhoon, and Enzo Amore. How you doing? Wilder Side of Sports. So yeah, check it out if you're in the area. Hamilton, Ohio is the place. So check it out.
Star-studded.
Yeah. I guess so. JBL's making his rounds at independent shows and clothesline and everybody, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. He was just on Raw last night too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But he got involved, I think, in the world title match too, the TNA world title match. It helped Joe Hendry win the title. So
wow.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. That's gotta be fun.
That's gotta be some good stuff. Yeah, he's doing something really, really creative this year or over the past year too. So it's awesome.
Cool. Very cool.
Well, sweet. Rob, is there anything else you wanted to say regarding that, or?
Oh, dude. I think like if anybody else wants to send me your fun stories, I don't know. I usually don't see my Facebook messages because I have two different Facebook accounts, and the one that has both of us in the profile that has, at least last I knew, it had like 1.8 million followers. And anyway, the messages, when they come to there, I have to open up each one to look at it, because otherwise, because I have something that they get an automatic response that says, hey, this ain't the best way to get a hold of me. I don't check this a lot, but every once in a while I do check it, and so maybe I'll see it. And then, but all I can see is the last bit of my message on everybody. So unless their name inspires me, to open it, like if it's a name I recognize or sounds familiar, or a hot girl's photo, maybe, Um, but sometimes otherwise I got to open up every single one, and then a lot of them are just like, "Hi," I'm like, "God damn it!" Look at the next one. But then sometimes I get a gem in there, and I'm like, "Whoa, what are the odds that I would even find this?" And it's something important. It happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
We did have a couple super chats too. Maddie has a great one here for the $2. He says Maddie versus Dildo Aussie Bush match booking. First to get shoved in a bush.
Dildo did have a wrestling match. I can't imagine what the hell he did, but last time I wrestled in Chillicothe, which was a 3-way with Too Cold Scorpio and Enzo.
Oh.
Yeah, Dildo was in there putting a wrestling singlet on. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're going to wrestle? Yeah. And I guess, that's not nepotism. I'm sure the promoter really sees a lot in him, and that's how he got in. So it's all good. And by the way, Bad Business Bobby also has a normal looking son too, and he's a wrestler.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dang. Well,
the cooler son.
One of the Fulton crime family. Corey Donovan, thanks for the $5. I think you were still in WWE when Trump was there at WrestleMania 23. Did you interact with him? I voted for him and hope you don't hate me.
Yeah, I didn't interact with him more than just meeting him. And it's one of those memories where in my head, I'm like, that did happen, right? I didn't like put that in there because as I remember, me and Sabu were walking down the hallway, and then we saw Trump's, the sign for his dressing room, and we were like, "You want to meet him?" And we're like, "Yeah, let's meet him." And it was open. He was talking to somebody, and I think we just, said, "Hey, hey, RVD, nice to meet you. Sabu, nice to meet you." And shook his hand and walked in. That was it. That was it. But I'm not even 100% sure that happened. I have some memories that I'm not sure if, that I build that in my brain. But I think, and I should ask Sabu, what are the chances he would remember? But it is Donald Trump. You might remember. But that was it. I remember I wished that I would have been in the match, the main event match, because it was like Bobby
Lashley.
Bobby Lashley, thank you. Bobby Lashley, he wrestled who?
Umaga.
And they each represented, one represented Vince, one represented Donald Trump. They were against each other, and the loser got to have his head shaved or whatever. But I just remember because it was like I was still butthurt over getting pushed out of the top ECW guy position, and it was Bobby that was in that position, and I was just like, man, he's just representing the new breed. Like him being here just totally means it's over, and I didn't want to admit that,
Yeah, that's a tough one. That was tough. Yeah, that was a time of when it would change in, and you're like, what is this? Is not ECW anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Right, via gummies.
Hey, look at that. There they are right there. The Elevate. That's the one I took the other day. That's one of my favorites.
Some of them have THC, some don't. There's CBG, CBN, CBD, different things in the different ones for the different effects. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Pick you up, lay you down, coast, focus, what have you.
You got your options. Look at that. Hell yeah. Go to Via. Use promo code RVD.
Thanks, Via.
Yeah, thanks, Via.
Thanks for being on the show, Via. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Via. Maddie has a super chat too. He chimed in again.
Maddie's spending all his money here on us.
He is, man. RVD signed Greek glass possible? He's curious if he could sign the Greek glass. And then he says, RVD and Sabu tagged the time you nearly lost your eye. Any Dudley Boys stories? Smoke them if you got them. Yeah.
I could sign a glass if you are there in person with a. Is that what he's talking about? Because I'm in LA. Yeah, fuck yeah, I
Maybe
can do
if
that.
Maddie-
Easy.
Yeah.
In person, yes. Through the mail, no. You know, they come from Pittsburgh. Is that where they're at?
They're based out of Pittsburgh. Yep, Greek Blast.
Yeah, and I'm way out here in Las Vegas, and so they don't have signed pieces. And even when I was at their booth at the conventions, I don't sign the pieces, but I have for fans that have the balls to bring one of those pieces to a convention, like a wrestling convention or comic book convention. Like sometimes they'll bring an actual bong or whatever, and I'll sign it. Which, by the way, is there an RVD lighter over there? Nah, I'll wait.
Ooh.
I got some RVD lighters, but they're not exactly what I ordered, so I'm very not happy. Is that what that is? No, that's a different one, right? That's not an RVD lighter. Okay.
Are they prototypes or they actual?
No, I got thousands of them, and they fucked me and didn't put something specific on there. What it is? Well, okay, yeah. Something that I put on there, like a logo or phrase, and they did not. First, they didn't want to do it. Then I said, "Well, then cancel my order." And then they were like, "No, okay, wait. You know what? It's cool." And then they gave me. Then they did it, but without that. So I was just going to show it, but I'll wait till they're done. But it'd be nice, nice little add-on piece for the rolling papers, lighter, glass bong pieces, whatever.
Heck yeah, those
Add it to the collection.
Add it to the collection, no doubt about it. He asked if you had any Dudley Boys stories too.
Well, yeah, the time that I almost lost my eye was when Sabu and I were in opposite corners and we both jumped and put someone through a table. I think it was Bam Bam Bigelow, as I remember it, but I'm not 100% sure about that. It kind of makes me want to look it up now, because who would it be if it wasn't him? But anyway, the table broke in a weird way, so it didn't just collapse in the middle. And by the way, we wouldn't gimmick the tables. People always think that that's part of it. They're not real chairs or real tables. And ECW, we used the same chairs the fans sat in, and we also had tables that were used by the ring announcer and whatever, and we would just plow right through them. But anyway, this one, instead of just breaking down, the leg held a piece up, and so it broke, and the leg of the table fell to the outside, and because of that, there was a jagged piece of wood that ripped through my eyelid. And this is a Dudley story, because later on that same night, I put tape around my head over my eye, and then I went back out and I wrestled the Dudleys in the handicap match.
Wow.
Yeah. Dudleys were always cool to wrestle with. Bubba back then, I think he purposely tried to be, more of an asshole, I think he'd probably admit that, but Devon was always the cooler one. I like them both a lot now, but when we would wrestle, it was usually like a fight with Bubba and then a wrestling match with Devon.
No, I remember I think it might have been our first or second episode. You were telling the story of hitting Bubba back and forth, and
boom, every night. Yeah. Well, here's a story. The first time that I remember feeling some commonality with Bubba and actually liking him. The first time I remember this, we were all at some kind of a bar, which is weird, but this was early in '96, so it's hard for me to remember because that whole world was new to me. But for some reason, we were all at this place. It must have been we were invited there, at the show, like the people that own the place either invited us out or they were a sponsor, something to where we had our own section at this club. And it sat up a little bit higher and the people were down here or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I remember this one fan was real happy to see me, excited to see me, but he was a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? I didn't want to talk to him anymore. I think it was kind of obvious, and he didn't get it. So he was in my face, and he's spilling his drink, and he's all, hey, Bobby D, you know, trying to hug me and all this stuff. And when he spilled his drink, Bubba reacted, and I don't remember if he put his hands on the guy. Or if he like grabbed the drink out of the guy's hand, you know, put it down or something. And he said, now get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. We don't care. Get the fuck away from us. You know, and I was like, all right, you know, he's a team player, man. This is a family, you know, like, because I didn't want to be the asshole because I'm the baby face. You know what I mean? Like I put up with people spitting in my face all the time. That when I know that they have good intentions, but you know, I'm a nice guy, so I'm the guy, you know, that gets the pushovers. I get that a lot, and I seldomly snap at somebody, you know, and sometimes I can be really direct and say, hey, okay, you know, can we not talk anymore? I can say something like that and be like totally direct without being rude, but a lot of times it's a build, you know, like they're pushing it, and it's a little more, and sometimes someone else can watch that escalating and catch on to it, and you know, maybe I would have done something if Bubba hadn't, but just the fact that he and I weren't even like tight or anything, and I didn't think he liked me, but then him stepping in, doing that, and kicking the fan out of there when the guy spilled his drink all over me and shit made me think like, you know, there's more to Bubba after all. I'm gonna give him a chance.
I'm gonna give that guy a chance. Yeah. It's funny, Rob. Before we even did the podcast or really knew each other, I saw you at North Carolina. It was what's the name of that? WrestleCade, yes. And you and Katie were together, and I remember seeing you in passing. You were leaving or something like that, and this older guy who was really bothering a lot of the wrestlers throughout the day was like asking people for pictures and autographs for free. Basically, he was trying to do that, and he was trying to talk to you, and you're like, oh, hey, yep, I acknowledge you, hello, how are you? And then you're just still trying to move on. You're still being nice to him, but you're also
I acknowledge you. I like to be direct.
Yeah. I acknowledge you. Okay, I'm moving now. It's like, I thought that was pretty funny. I was just like observing that.
You know, speaking of that, I remember when we first started doing all these conventions, you know, the first WrestleCon that I remember was that one in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. I think I missed the first one, was at the second, but anyway, it was crazy that Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair were all at the same convention, like mind-blowing. Whoa. There was a lot of people there, had a big line of people like I always do, you know, and then when I went to the bathroom, then some people come in there in the bathroom. They're like, hey, RVD, you mind if I get a picture real quick? And then, you know, like, if I'm like, oh, man, you know, they're like, oh, I understand. You got to get your money here. I can pay you. Just for any fans that are listening right now, it's not even about that. It's not about that. It's about the fact that it's just not fair to everybody else that's in line. You know, and that's something they don't normally consider. They're like, no, I mean, I know you're here to get paid. You're not here for your own good, so I don't mind paying you. But it's not that. It's that these people waited in line and then paid, you know, a pretty big amount of change to get a picture, to get an autograph, maybe to buy a Funko Pop, whatever. But that's hard money that they worked for, and there's a system. And then for someone to come in, and the money is not normally offered. Usually it's just a free one that they're looking for. I remember at that first one, like I was caught, and I went, you know, and it was just like, you know, and they were already taking it anyway. So I'm just like that, you know, and then I feel like such a big heel. I felt like, man, if all those fans just saw me do that, like what an asshole they must think I am. Because I think I'm an asshole through their eyes. They fucking, you know, they just paid 70, 80, $100, whatever the fuck. And then I just walked around the corner and treated this guy just like them that was waiting in there, fucking standing on the toilet seat or something, you know. And anyway, yeah, it made me feel really bad and low. about being a guy that would do that to them. So anybody listening, just I would just try and look at it from that perspective.
Yeah, like consideration and stuff like that. But people do. They put a lot of money down. They make an event out of this. It's like some of it's like their big family event, maybe going to one of these wrestling conventions.
They're dropping several $100s down there. They'll be like, we got 3 premium items, and we want a photo, and can we get a combo? I'm like, Jesus, these guys must have been saving up.
Absolutely. All right, we'll close it out with this one. Navy 4181. Thanks for the $5.
Danny Bonaducci.
Your spot with Danny Bonaducci flying over the top rope on Hulk Hogan's Celebrity Championship Wrestling with some of RVD's finest.
I don't remember it. I guess I don't know if it was me going over the top rope or Danny, maybe me showing him, but I do remember obviously the experience. I just don't remember what all we did and what made the show out of the edit. But my position on that episode of Hulk Hogan's Celebrity Championship Wrestling, my contribution was to teach the importance of having a finishing move to all the celebrities. So I thought, absolutely, I'll do that.
Yeah, there's
Butterbean, Danny Bonaducci, the
Rodman, right?
Yeah, Dennis Rodman, and
what's the guy?
Tiffany, I think, the girl singer. I think so. It was either her or Debbie Gibson. They both were around when I was like a teenager. And, I think it was Tiffany, though. And maybe both. I don't know. But Willis, Todd Bridges.
Willis,
Strokes.
Tiffany Darwish. Tiffany Darwish.
Okay. And the guy, Screech.
Dustin Diamond.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Nikki Ziering. Frank Stallone was there, too.
Was he?
That's what it says. He was the second to be eliminated, I guess. Maybe he wasn't there. Would depend on what episode you were. Maybe.
Right. Yeah. No, the reason I reacted to that was because when I met him, he acted like we'd already met before.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
How about that?
But anyway, that was fun.
Good stuff. Yeah.
All right, cool, dude.
Cool stuff.
Another fantastic episode.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Van Dam fam, for tuning in to us, and hope I didn't offend anybody too bad, except for Dildo and Bad News Bobby. Bad business Bobby. It's all he's bad news.
That crime family. Gotta watch out for the crime family. Well, hey guys, you can watch out for us the following week when we record yet again. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Shout out to everybody. Maddie, really appreciate everybody joining us and everything like that. So thank you for having us.
Yes, and thank you, Katie.
Yeah,
thank you, Katie.
It's fun to be had.
Yes. Hey, that's a good response right there. It's fun to be had.
Yeah.
I like that. That's perfect.
Thank you, Barbie. Thank you, Lovey.
They're sleeping so hard.
Oh,
dang, there's
tired.
Thank you, Lovey.
It's like, what's going on?
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. What was I gonna say? I don't know, something stupid. I was just gonna say, I'll see you in the community chat room on Only Wrestlers. In fact, I'm gonna go there right now. Watch.
Do it right.
Maddie's gonna be there.
Maddie will be there.
After party in the community chat room. Maybe we'll start doing this every week.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Thanks, Dominator.
Thanks, guys. See you next time here on One of a Kind with RV.
Have a great week. Have a great week/weekend.